Soul, and this is a review of SmackDown for the 11th of April. That's the month, yeah. We're good. Before the show even starts, they have a little card of Ultimate Warrior, and Michael Cole does a voiceover saying that Monday Night Raw will be a tribute show, so I can see Monday Night Raw being an emotional show. I don't know if it's going to be literally like a Eddie Guerrero show where it's just all about him, or if it will just have like a nice little tribute in there and then they'll still focus on their storylines. But when Raw comes, we'll see. SmackDown actually opens up with The Big Show. Boom, boom, boom. Never too excited to see The Big Show. But they talk about Antonio Cesaro beating him. So this gives me hope seeing Cesaro Big Show. That's sort of a good testing ground for Cesaro. Then Paul Heyman comes out to boos. The crowd are really not liking Paul Heyman here. But then I was actually quite surprised. I still thought Cesaro would get some cheers and attention for the crowd, but he comes out to equally the amount of boos, which I was a little bit surprised at. When Heyman's done with his promo, putting over Cesaro, the King of Swing, Big Show and Cesaro start their match. Actually started with a handshake, which is strange. I can't quite figure out what they're doing with Cesaro. He's sort of wrestling as a face, but he's got a heel manager. I'm confused. He's never really been like a heel. Like, he's never really done too much like cheating, especially in like the last couple of months, because he's been a heel with Zep, but he's still been out there doing a solid wrestling match. And they haven't actually really cheated much in their matches. But all in all, yeah, it's a fairly standard match. Big Show's in charge. Paul Heyman's on commentary, but not really. He like barely talks to them. There was a nice tease. Big Show's on the outside of the ring, and we've seen Cesaro suplex people back into the ring. And they're teasing that. They're like battling back and forth. Then the Big Show lifts Cesaro out of the ring, but Cesaro rolls down him and like gets him ready for a powerbomb. But then Big Show just sits on him and crushes him between the apron and his buttocks. Good little tease. They're sort of saving it. We've seen that Cesaro can pick him up and slam him, but we don't know what else Cesaro can do to the Big Show. So I really actually want this rivalry to continue. Again, rather a standard Big Show match, going back and forth. At one point, Cesaro rolls out the ring and goes over to Paul Heyman, where Paul Heyman actually just gives him advice. Like, you actually hear it audio on the commentary of, take out his breath, that'll stop him, slow him down. Which, in fairness, is like really good manager advice. There should be more managers, and B, they should actually just be giving out legit advice. There's no harm in talking. You're meant to be getting yourself over. But yeah, match goes on for a bit more. Then Cesaro gets the upper hand, and he's in position for the big swing, and he's setting up for it. He's got the legs, and I want to see this. And then Swagger grabs him and slaps on an ankle lock. Oh, disappointing, but I hope that means they're going to keep teasing Big Show and Cesaro carrying on. Big Show eventually gets up and he just gets Swagger, shoves him out the ring. And then Cesaro just carries on attacking the Big Show with some nice Europeans, also off the top rope. And even though I'm not a huge fan of the finisher, I'm actually sort of starting to like it now. They're just sort of making it look a bit better. And it is impressive regardless, just picking up the Big Show, especially like, it's a move where you're just deadlifting. Like, the Big Show can't really jump to help with it. And he manages to reach around and he lifts him slowly off the ground and then hits the neutralizer. Good show of strength, good showing from Cesaro, keeping him strong. I will be really interested to see what the crowd do with him in the next couple of weeks. Especially because of that huge reaction he got on Raw, but now to get nothing on SmackDown. We'll see if he goes heel or face, or he just stays like a tweener. But I'm happy for him. I really want him to get a good storyline. After this, we get John Cena coming out. And I really, really liked this promo. He's basically talking about WrestleMania, all the big moments, Rock, Stone Cold, and Hogan being in the ring. Daniel Bryan being the new champion. Cesaro winning the Battle Royale. Kofi Kingston defying gravity as always. All those really, really good moments. And he starts... Yeah, he's actually getting cheered. And the crowd are really, really behind Cena for once. He also talks about his new chant that they made where they sort of sing his theme song, but Cena sucks, Cena sucks. And he has some fun with that, just talking about the good moments of Raw as well. And then he talks about the NXT people, sort of Paige becoming a new champion, Bo Dallas, Axl Rhodes, just vignettes. They're not even on the show, but Cena's still talking about them. And then he goes into... He is now the standard. He is the top guy. He is the measuring stick. If you can't compete with John Cena, there's no point in being there. You've got to go through him. And then we get a boop and a Wyatt promo. Solid as always, the Wyatt's promo. And it's just more about him being a bit more demented. And just like, since I lost you, John, I'm still smiling. So all the kiddies out there, they still believe John. So it looks like this feud's continuing, which I'm not shocked about. I hope it's going to be some sort of just like last man standing match. Some sort of cage match, barbed wire, something. Just a nice brawl between these two. Should be a really good push. And please let Bray come out of it this time. I hope so. Next we got tag team action with El Matadors versus Ryback. Yeah. Does anyone really care about Ryback? Anyone? Well, the thousands of people in this studio don't care, so... good solid match. El Matadors are actually, like, becoming a really, like, not just a comedy team. They're actually showing that they're really good in ring, good solid workers. Though he almost messed up his headstand spot in the corner, he actually fell right back over onto the turnbuckle. But still kept his grip, kept with it, and lifted himself over, and it actually timed it perfectly to go into the head scissors off the turnbuckle. Really impressive to have the strength to go back, and that is the thing about wrestling. It's a live art. You are going to mess up. It's about what you do when you mess up and how you deal with it. But yeah, Ryback is on the outside. Little El Torito jumps on him, which is a huge mistake, catches him. Ryback sort of walks off like he's going to eat him. One of El Matadors jumps and takes down Ryback. But this leaves for a distraction. And Curtis Axel does a really nice grab the arm, spins round into his top headlock, facebuster thing. I don't know if he's actually got a name for it. But it's actually looked quite good going into this. The nice intro into it, nice spin round. Really good way to get into the move, and it looked quite good. Ryback's still going to win. If the Usos aren't going to go against Batista and Orton, this is the obvious team. I can't really even think off the top of my head of another heel team apart from 3MB, and they're kind of a joke. So it looks like it'll probably be Ryback versus the Usos in the coming weeks. Backstage, we have Rob Van Dam, and he does a very Rob Van Dam-y promo of like, dude, everything's cool, I got a new bid in the face of the company, man, yeah. Comes out and he challenges Sandow again, a rematch from Raw. At least you actually get to hear a snippet of Sandow's music for the first time in weeks. Don't see him actually come out to the ring, but, yeah. Again, it's a good solid match, and Sandow's actually in charge for most of it. He's showing his good aggressive style and his good in-ring work. But of course, this is RVD's second match back after a few months, so wins with a frog splash. That's what people want to see. If these two could actually get a storyline going, it would be good, but I can't see where they're going to go with it from here. So I've got no idea what these two are doing. Dun, 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 dun. Hulk Hogan comes down to the ring. Ah, it's so good. And he talks about Daniel Bryan, puts him over, telling them, brother, he turned WrestleMania into yes-a-mania, brother. Calls down Daniel Bryan. Him and Hogan just have this... it's quite a genuine fan moment in the ring, and Daniel Bryan just says, there's one thing I wanted to see, something live and in person, please play Hulk Hogan's music, and they do the posing together, and it's such, like, Daniel Bryan being the wrestling fan he is, it is such a nice moment to see them give him. It was just a feel-good moment for the crowd. Didn't really have any storyline, but it was just getting Daniel Bryan over, getting him some FaceTime with Hulk Hogan, and sort of probably getting a childhood dream to come true.
I've got some bad news for you. I don't know why I'm attempting a British accent. I am British. Anyway, bad news, Barrett. I'm so happy to have him in the ring, and his reaction he got on Raw was phenomenal. Of course, nowhere near as good today, because there's not as many Brits in the crowd. But he gets to go one-on-one with Kofi Kingston. Before the match starts, he calls for the microphone, gets it, Kofi runs at him, bam! I've got some bad news for ya. Gets rid of the mic, and then they just have a good, solid match. Glad to see Barrett going back. I want him to get some sort of storyline going, but just give him a few wins to sort of give him a bit of strength again. Finish is nice. Kofi goes for the Trouble in Paradise, but boom! Bull hammer elbow to the mush. Pinned him, 1, 2, 3. Another victory for Wade Barrett. Hope this trend continues. After that, we get Emma and Santino Marella already in the ring, and I don't even know what they're doing. They're like doing some weird thing to take their hands. Then Fandango comes out, followed by Layla. Yeah, I was kind of shocked to see Layla. I think this is something they tried pushing earlier in the week on Twitter, because on Wednesday, when I found out about the Ultimate Warrior's death, I went through Twitter and saw what the wrestlers were saying. And then I went past the event itself, and then it seemed to be all tweets about Fandango dumping Summer Rae through text and tweeting. I don't get it. I really don't. Like, is this tying into a Total Divas thing, or just they suddenly decided, no, we won't do like a breakup on Raw, we just want Summer Rae to go off and be a diva, so we're just ending you two, so we're going to do it by text. Okay. Layla fits the role. She's not really done anything in the ring, so it's fine, and she's sort of supple enough and dances. And she definitely has some assets to her. But it's fine in the ring. It's actually a one-on-one between Santino and Fandango. Emma in Santino's corner. Emma does literally nothing for the match. But Layla is instrumental in the win, because back and forth. Santino goes for the Cobra as it got the advantage, and Layla steals it. Bloody genius. That's one of the smartest things I've seen done with this booking. And then she runs off with it. Fandango gets the roll up and gets the pin over Santino. So yeah, as they point out in the commentary, Layla's already better than Summer Rae ever was. But yeah, I thought that was a really good, just a comedy spot to finish the match, and that's what most people should try and do, is steal the Cobra. After that, we get a nice little package about Paige winning the Divas title from Raw. Again, another Brit. So happy for it. I just can't wait to see what they do with her next. And please, please, book her right. You had her being the little timid flower on Raw. Like, give her a bit more of her guts and courage. She may be a young 21-year-old, but damn, that girl's got some fight in her. Then we get to see Kane, Batista, and Randy Orton backstage, and they're having a little bit of a squabble. Right, we need to get on the same page, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, well, leave Daniel Bryan to me. And then there's like, no, leave Daniel Bryan to me. No, leave him to me. Then Kane's like, come on, guys, we've got to focus. Walks off, and then Batista's like, I don't work for a higher power. And then Orton's like, I know Dave. And it's like, it's got some connection going between those two. Then it's time for the actual match. Daniel Bryan and the Usos come out first, which is, why is the champion not coming out last? That's how these things work. Please, WWE, don't bury Daniel Bryan before he's even had a chance to start. Then you've got our 6-man tag. And of course, They send in the Uso with the bandaged ribs because he got power bombed onto steel steps on Raw. Getting taken advantage of. This is actually sort of quite a... it's an okay match. There's nothing amazingly special through this match. But it seems to be mainly focused on the Uso. And then Daniel Bryan gets in the ring, gets the advantage. Kane powders out and Daniel Bryan goes for the dive. Then Batista and Orton get on top of Daniel Bryan. Then the Usos do their double flying over the top rope, but one of them actually maybe catches his legs and actually flips over. I don't think he's badly hurt, but it mustn't have been a comfortable landing. Then at this point you've got just all the guys brawling outside the ring. Ref does it a no contest. Batista and Orton get the Usos in the ring, while Kane battles around with Bryan to the announce table. Batista throws one of the Usos at Randy, who hits an RKO. Randy picks up one of the other Usos, gives him Batista to hit a Batista bomb. Again, I really want these two to go together. They make a good team, and it gives us back Evolution. And it gives them both something to do, and it works while they're both so hated by the crowd, so them as a unit works. And then Kane's dismantled the announce table in the meantime and is ready to chokeslam Daniel Bryan through. Then the Shield come out. Couldn't they come out a little bit sooner and save the Usos? But oh well. They save Daniel Bryan, beat up Kane, and then the Shield ascend upon the ring. Batista and Orton are there, standing. The Shield are there. Batista and Orton get out of dodge. They run. And then you've got Az there coming forward and then taunting Batista and Orton. Kane gets in the ring with a steel chair, but Daniel Bryan, flying knee to the face, takes him out and saves the Shield. Then you just got the Shield and Daniel Bryan all standing there strong together in the ring. Yeah, again, I don't quite know where this one is going. There's no, from the end of this show, there's no real set-in-stone storylines. But I've got to assume we're going to get like a six-man between Batista, Randy and Kane against the Shield. It's got to be something along those lines. But then Randy Orton's still owed a title match, unless they're going to do double duty, unless it is going to be Triple H who'll do a match again. I really don't know. I can't wait to see what happens on Raw. And also Raw is going to be a nice tribute to the Ultimate Warrior. I hope they also carry on with their storylines, because this is sort of a short month before a pay-per-view. But that was all for now. Until next time, TTFN.